Welcome back to Crush Workouts. It's your hometown homie Kim Marcus back with another episode out here. Today we're gonna do another Crush cookout video for you guys. I won't be cooking, but my wife's gonna be cooking something delicious. This is one of my new favorites. It's a little pricey, but hold on. All right. Went to Trader Joe's. For those who knows, pick this up. I got this maybe a few weeks ago, just randomly, sporadically, because I was looking for something a little different. But this is the Trader Joe's Butcher Shop all natural lean beef stew meat. Of course, it's supposed to be like in stew, but we're not gonna do that today. But look at the macros on here, looking lovely. First of all, let's go all natural. No nitrates, raised with no antibiotics ever, no hormones, all vegetarian feeds. Whatever, but you know, but look at the macros. 140 calories per 4 ounces, 4 grams of fat, lovely. Only 2 carbs, low sodium, no fiber, no sugar, but 23 grams of protein per 4 ounces. That means I'm gonna get 46 grams of protein just from this alone. And then you're gonna add another 5 from the rice. That's about 50 grams. 2 meals, that's 100 grams of protein. And then you got my shake, and then you got a protein bar. Well, that's how you hit your macros out here. A good rule of thumb when you're looking at calories and protein is you want the protein to be 10% of the total calories. Especially with snacks. With these lean proteins, you're always gonna be good with the protein content. But if it was 140 calories, I would expect it to be at least 14 grams of protein. Obviously, lean protein is gonna be a little bit more, but that's more so for snacks. A real one, I think it's Lenny and Larry's cookies, where the calorie content is way too high. They might have 15 grams of protein within their cookie itself, and it tastes alright, but the calories is just way too high. And the 15 grams of protein within that cookie is not worth the 300, 400, I think it's 420 calories. Think about it, 420 calories for 15 grams protein. That's not worth it at all. So you gotta think about it. That's a good rule of thumb I go by. But I'm not gonna be cooking this today. My wife, Tiff, is gonna be cooking this, the lovely Tiffany. She's gonna be slow cooking this, so I'm just gonna be following her around. She don't even know yet. All right, what we doing right now?
Prep for the beef stew.
Yeah.
So we have lean beef stew.
Yep. We got about 2.6 pounds of uncooked.
Yep. So what I'm doing is before I put it in the slow cooker, I'm just going to like lightly brown it. So my seasonings I'm just trying to like get through to the meat. So I'm gonna use salt, Himalayan sea salt. And I'm gonna use a little paprika because I want it to brown. And I may just use a little bit of pepper. I don't really want to use too much because I'm just trying to get it like brown. So this, I love this pot.
What you got there?
This is olive oil. I don't measure and I use a very generous portion. And
that's the way black people cook.
Yeah, I'm gonna coat it with some pan spray so my pot doesn't get messed up. I washed my hands before I started this.
Disclaimer.
And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get some gloves because I'm gonna have to touch this meat. I don't prefer to touch the meat. And to transfer.
Got some tongs. Uh-oh, slow cooker on deck. Shout out what we got ready for cheat day. Got them cookies, brownies on deck.
So what I'm gonna do is to make it easy. This is just like the pan, so I can transfer the meat that's in here and just do it like that.
Got them gloves on deck, Michael Jackson style. One glove on. Look at all that lean beef.
now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my meat bowl, hence it's red, and combine both packets. I'm gonna put it in some like the salt, pepper, and paprika coating. That's why I have my gloves. Seems like a lot, but it's not a lot of beef. So I'm doing this the lean way. Most recipes call for you to coat this in like flour, but since we're trying to be lean, I don't. I just need it to get brown. Paprika's just to give it that brown color. And pepper, because everyone loves pepper. At least we do in this household. Again, I'm not really measuring, so sorry. I am gonna start. This pot gets hot really fast, so I have it on low.
What you doing now?
I'm just making sure that seasonings are evenly distributed. It's not just on one side of the meat. And again, if you want to do this with your bare hands, go for it. But I just want all the seasonings to get on the meat evenly. This just helps to make your meat a little bit more tender. So I'm gonna let this heat up some, so that when the meat hits the pot, it sizzles a little bit. And we're only going to sizzle, put the meat on this heat just so it gets just like a little bit brown, because the slow cooker is gonna do the rest. Add in my meat. You see how it has that little seared sound? That's what I'm doing in here. We wanted to create like a little juice, because that juice is going with it in the slow cooker. Again, we're not cooking it through. We're just trying to get it so that it gets brown. And the slow cooker is going to do the rest of it. Another thing that you could do if you prefer, if you're a stickler on a certain kind of cut or meat, you can get your favorite kind and just cut it up into chunks rather than buying the beef stew. Also an alternative. But you see this brown? That's what you want to see. This just helps so that when the meat is in the slow cooker, you want that tender, like shredded. You want the beef to just like fall apart. You can also marinate your meat overnight. That helps add the flavor. This was like, I did not do my marinade overnight. It will still taste delicious. You could also add that extra punch of flavor. Again, this is the lean version if you want. Yeah, you could do like carrots, you could do potatoes, you could do celery in with your meat. Since we're trying to just like very focused on like the amount of calories we're intaking, we're just sticking with like the beef and then the carb, which is going to be the rice. Alright, I like to spray my slow cooker with hand spray so stuff doesn't stick. So I'm going to start transferring the brown meat over, just like so. Alright guys, so my second batch, we got it browned. This is perfect. It made its own stock because instead of adding like the beef stock, I'm gonna add this instead. The beef naturally made its own juices. So I am going to get my oven mitts.
Yeah. Look at them lonely pieces of beef left over. The stragglers.
No beef left behind.
Those are nice gloves. Who got those for you?
My husband.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna pour the rest of it in like so. And I'm gonna soak my pot. We'll get to that cleanup part later. Or not at all, honestly. Okay, so this is what my beef looks like right about now. You see it's like mostly brown or some pink coming out, which is good. I'm gonna sit it in my slow cooker, and this is the fun part where we add all of our seasonings to make it delicious. Okay, what we're gonna add, this is the Worcester sauce. This is the key ingredient. My husband loves this, and this is gonna really give our meat a flavor. This bottle is already open, so, and before I used about a half a bottle, so I think I used about that much this time. This does have 5 calories per serving, and we're using a lot more than tablespoons. So.
A lot of serving.
Yeah.
We're loosening the restrictions a little bit on the weekends. During the week we're super strict, but on weekends you see how we seasoning, or how she's seasoning, how she adding the sauces, marinade. We lighten the restrictions a little bit, you know what I mean? Prepare ourselves for cheat day. And
I'm adding just a little bit. This is the less sodium soy sauce. This has 17 calories, so I'm not using a lot. I'm just adding a little bit. Okay. Next, I'm gonna add more paprika. I tend to be generous with that. Pepper. Added some garlic. Again, I don't really measure. I know we added the Himalayan salt at the onset. I'm just adding a little bit of sea salt, not too much. And then a little bit of Flavor Gods. Ooh, honey barbecue. All right, I'm gonna put my slow cooker on high because we're going for our workout and we want to be eating by the time we get back. So it normally takes around 3 hours, and it's just gonna be on high. I am gonna stir it a little bit. So all the seasonings that you saw before were combined. The Worcester sauce, a little bit of soy sauce, garlic, black pepper, paprika, honey barbecue seasoning. Oh, I didn't add my Montreal chicken. I'll add some of that. I like seasonings, y'all, so I don't like food that don't taste like nothing, so. Am I heavy-handed on seasonings? Probably. The Montreal chicken. And what I do, because we don't use flour, as this cooks down, probably like 2 hours into it, I'm gonna add a little bit of ketchup. This just thickens it up some. And it does have a little, you can taste the ketchup a little bit, but you don't want it so that you're like really tasting it. It's just to thicken up this little broth. So yeah, the great thing about the slow cooker, you start it, you walk away. So about 2 hours from now, I'm gonna come back and check, add a little bit of ketchup, stir it around, and then you'll see that there'll be more juices created from the meat. And the meat will start to tenderize and like really start to shred. That's what we want, a nice shredded. What you didn't see get filmed is I made some white rice. What we do is measure out our rice. I'm just stirring it. I don't add butter, obviously. It would taste so much more delicious with butter.
It's just fine without butter though.
I use just a little teaspoon of olive oil as a substitute. What I'm gonna do is get ready to plate our food. Our beef is just about done slow cooking. So excited, I did a little taste test and it tastes bomb.
I usually do a half a cup of white rice since I'm cutting still, keeping it lean, so measure it out. It's not that difficult.
You want a secret to how people put rice on a plate to really eat pretty? Just like that.
Finished product right there.
So what I'm doing now is just taking the meat. For Kim, he likes to have 8 ounces of meat.
There you go.
So here we go.
So I actually think I thought about this wrong. I actually do a full cup of white rice, which is about 160 calories cooked. This is a half, which is about only 80 calories. So I was tripping a little bit. One
thing I didn't add, and I mentioned earlier, was the ketchup. It actually didn't need it. I did a little taste test and didn't need the ketchup for thickness. So.
Just use MyFitnessPal to calculate how much macros was in this meal. About 450 calories, 50 grams of protein, 41 grams of carbs, and only 8 grams of fat. This is how you stay lean out here. If you like this crush cookout video and you want some more of some of the recipes that we have to stay lean, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you comment in that comment section. We'll be back.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks, babe, for the meal.
You're welcome, honey.
Made with love, compassion, passion. We out. 1.